Do evil spirits exist? I've never been so scared in my whole life. Karen leaned against the fence around the ring. She glanced towards Marc to reassure herself that he was still in one piece. Marc hung over the fence, totally drained after his ordeal. Lisa went over to him. She noticed his hands were shaking uncontrollably, and his face was white and pinched. "Are you okay?" she asked worriedly. Marc nodded. "I think so," he said. "I thought this was the end. When I saw those hooves coming towards me..." He stopped and swallowed. "It's amazing you managed to roll out of the way," Karen said. Lisa shuddered. She knew she'd never forget the awful moment when she had been certain that Marc was going to be crushed by the lashing hooves. But as they were all breathing a sigh of relief, something even more frightening had happened. Just as Marc got to his feet, Adoni turned and attacked again. Marc ran for his life and managed to get out of the horse's way in the nick of time. The sight of Adoni as Marc threw himself over the fence had terrified Lisa so much that she was still feeling dizzy. The horse had stopped just before crashing into the fence, his powerful hooves pawing the ground. His ears were flat against his head and hardly visible, but it was the ferocious look in his eyes. Just thinking about the raw and untamed evil she had seen there made Lisa's stomach turn. As they were recovering from the events, it was as if someone had waved a magic wand in front of Adoni, and he was transformed. His ears perked, he stopped pawing, and the usual friendly twinkle returned to his eyes. Gazing at Marc and the girls, he nickered softly, as if he wanted to say, "What's the matter with you guys?" The change was so profound that for a moment Lisa wondered whether she had only imagined the evil expression. But in her heart she knew it had been there. Something had happened to the normally good-tempered horse. It was almost as if he had been possessed by some evil spirit. In the hot sunshine, Lisa felt cold shivers run down her spine. "I failed. How could this happen? Getting power over that stupid animal and making him my obedient slave was so easy. And I had him just where I wanted him. Crawling in the dust at my feet. Just the place for a lowlife like him. But he escaped. I underestimated him. How could I be so careless? But another chance will come soon. And next time I will not make any mistakes." Two hours passed. Lisa and Karen were standing outside Adoni's stall, looking at the horse. He munched his hay and acted as if he didn't have a care in the world. They had experienced some tense moments when Marc went into the ring to get Adoni and take him back to his stable. Karen had tried to hold him back. She was afraid Adoni would attack him again. "I can't just leave the horse out here forever with the saddle and bridle on," Marc had said, "and Adoni seems perfectly calm now. Whatever spooked him seems to have passed. I'll take my chances. Any signs of him playing up again, and I'll be out of there faster than the speed of light, I promise." But there was no need to worry. Adoni had let himself be caught and led to the stable without a hint of trouble. "He seems calm and content now," Karen said, her voice low. "It's hard to believe he's the same horse that acted like a savage beast not long ago." Lisa nodded. She understood what her friend meant. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, she would have refused to believe that Adoni could have acted the way he did. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the wild, evil eyes flashing with hatred. It reminded her of the incident the day before, when she had also been struck by this sensation of pure evil. She turned to Karen. "There's something I haven't told you," she revealed, "about what happened yesterday when I broke that jar. I didn't want to talk about it then. It seemed so weird." Lisa told Karen about the pressure she had felt around her head and the shadow she thought she had seen just before fainting. If I really did set an evil spirit free when the jar cracked, could it be this spirit who forced Adani to attack Marc? Karen didn't say anything for a long while. "I don't know what to think," she finally muttered. "It sounds totally crazy to me. I mean, I've never believed in ghosts or spirits or things like that. But now—" "At least my theory would explain Adani's scary behavior," Lisa pointed out. "I don't know. Maybe Marc is right," Karen said slowly. "Adani may be sick. A brain tumor or something like that. Marc said he'd have the vet x-ray Adani's head to see if there's anything wrong." Karen didn't want to believe that a malevolent spirit was at large somewhere on the farm trying to hurt people. "He can x-ray Adani as much as he likes," Lisa said, "but what are we going to do if there really is an evil force at work here?" Karen thought about this for a minute. "I don't think there's much we can do," she said, "other than be on guard in case anything more happens." She fell silent. The thought that something similar could happen again was too terrifying for words. Lisa looked at her friend. She understood Karen's doubt. Lisa would prefer that something was physically wrong with Adani, but in her heart, she knew this was not the case. Someone, or something, had possessed Adani and taken control of him for that short while. And if the purpose had been to injure or kill Marc, new attempts would be made. But where? And when? Lisa had no idea. She looked down at her arms. They were covered in goosebumps, even though the stable was cozy and warm. Something terrible was going to happen, soon. She knew it, without a trace of doubt in her mind. "I hope Marc will be careful," Lisa said, worried. She reached out and brushed away a twig that had entangled itself in Tinto's mane. It was the next day, and the two girls were out riding in the woods behind the farm. Before setting off, Lisa had tried to warn Marc, but his skeptical look told her that he was far from convinced. "I can't believe there's something supernatural behind Adani's behavior," he said, "even though I still can't understand what got into him. I was afraid of some brain disease, but the x-rays yesterday showed nothing wrong." "Do you plan to ride him today?" Karen asked. She hoped the answer would be no, but Marc said he was going to go for a ride across the fields. If everything seemed normal, he would continue his jumping session that afternoon. He refused to let one single incident scare him off from his training schedule. "At least Marc will be on his guard," Karen now said. "After what happened yesterday, he's not likely to trust Adani for a while." She squeezed her legs against Raven's sides to make him trot. "Let's forget Marc and evil spirits for a while," she suggested. "This is supposed to be a nice ride, right?"